The NFL draft is approaching. The chips are starting to fall. We had the combines. We're starting to see where some dudes might land, who needs skill position players. We have a lot of news that happened in the last couple of weeks. We're going to hop into the most important things, dude. We're going to talk about winners and losers in this video. My name is Ron from Fantasy Flow, dude. Welcome back to the motherfucking channel. We're going to start pumping videos, dude. I'm going to try to be super consistent this season. Thank you to everyone who subscribed last year if you're here. If you're a new user, welcome. I'd appreciate a like if you find this content funny, helpful, informational, whatever you want to call it. Let's hop into the video, man, and we're going to start with some winners, dude. These are the guys who I think, based on what's happened so far, we still have the draft ahead of us, so we still don't really know who's going to be like a bona fide winner. But we can start to read the tea leaves a little bit and see which dudes are going to start, landing in really good positions. And at the top of this list, we're going to talk about Najee Harris. So as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, maybe you've been like me, you've been under a rock. Fucking, he's on the Chargers now, man. So they signed him to a 1-year deal. It's 9.25 million with about 5.2 guaranteed. So it's not nothing, right? It's not like J.K. Dobbins money, which I think they paid him like a fucking Amazon gift card last season, and he popped off for them, right? Like they really leaned on him. I mean, Gus Edwards looked like me out there, so that's probably why they had to do that. But anyway, he joins a very upgraded offensive line and system. He's got less competition because we don't expect J.K. Dobbins. I think he's already been released. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that, but basically the Chargers' offensive line was great, and they're going to be great again. Justin Herbert, another year coming off of the injury he was coming off the year before. They were 8th in explosive run rate in 2024, 11th in yards after contact on inside zone runs in 2024. So they're going to be a great offensive line, dude. The Chargers are going to be they're going to be a good offense, dude. Another season of Lad McConkey just, getting a little more seasoned, getting a little more yards under his belt or a little more training camp under his belt. And I think he's going to be a very sneaky, good draft pick, a very good value later in the draft. So he's somebody that I'm really looking at that, as like that. He might end up being like a dead zone running back, but he's a dude I might be down to take a shot on, which is fucking crazy because on this channel, dude, we made a living, dude. We made an absolute living trashing on dudes like Najee Harris. So I think he's in a good spot. Moving on to the next guy, it's going to be Brenton Strange. So he basically takes over the Evan Engram role. He was already kind of taking it over at the end of the season when Evan Engram went out. And so he's the tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars, if you guys are probably wondering who the fuck that is. He's going to benefit greatly from some vacated targets. So we have Christian Kirk and Evan Engram leaving. Brenton Strange is already kind of solidifying himself as like actually a bona fide dude for this team last season. So they're going to have a new offensive system. They're going to be utilizing the tight ends. He finished 13th in yards per route run in the NFL, not just at the tight end position, which is actually kind of insane. 6th in true catch rate, 97.6%. So the dude was catching everything that came his way. He was getting the ball. So based on targets per route run is a very good metric to know. When he's out there running routes, how many targets per route is he earning? So that's a very good metric, right? Or not how many targets, sorry, how many yards. It's just a good indicator to know how, where people are. Just to put it in context, a dude like Tyreek Hill 2 seasons ago, who was like incredible, was averaging like 2.4 yards per route run. So he can easily be like the number 2 pass catching dude behind Brian Thomas, but don't hold your breath on that. Let's see what happens in the NFL draft. Moving on, we got Jaylen Warren. So the Steelers, basically paired with the news that Najee Harris is now with the Chargers, the Steelers, it looks like Warren's going to step into a lead role, right? He already kind of showed he could be that. Kind of, right? Like on and off. Like there were moments where he was looking just like a scat back, like a third down back. And then there were other moments where he was looking like a bona fide, like give this dude all the fucking work type of running back. So he was a top 10 in yards created per touch. So they only added Kenneth Gainwell so far, who's a receiving back. So if Jaylen Warren can maintain some of that receiving work, I can imagine him being like a really, really good middle round pick. Maybe even later round pick. I don't exactly know where he's going at the moment. Again, I'm kind of new to this too. I just wanted to like consolidate all the news and tell you what I think about like winners and losers. So next guy's Evan Engram. So he's now with the Broncos. I'm not going to spend too much time on him. It's basically a team where Bo Nix should take another step. He looked really good as a rookie. And there's not a lot of competition, right? Like Marvin Mims, Cortland Sutton, he could easily be the number 2 guy, right? Marvin Mims is not a big like volume type wide receiver. So I expect Evan Ingram to be good yet again. Another very serviceable tight end, somebody that I'd be targeting, in the later rounds for sure. But I imagine he might start creeping up. But from a yards per route run, 1.89, so worse than Brenton Strange, funnily enough, but still really good for a tight end. It was the second highest of his career in 2024. I know on like limited play because he did miss a lot of the season last year. But the next winner is going to be the Minnesota Vikings. They're going to get JJ McCarthy back. Now, the Vikings could easily become a loser, right? If JJ McCarthy is still kind of stunted from that injury, Sam Darnold might have been a better quarterback than him if that happens, right? If he doesn't look quite as good, maybe. I mean, he's still essentially a rookie. I know he was a highly touted rookie, but he's still a rookie. So, yeah, man, I think they're going to have a strengthened offensive line. They got Ryan Kelly and Will Freeze, two offensive linemen who are very good. Ryan Kelly comes from the Colts, I believe. And yeah, two very good linemen, so they should see an upgrade there, which is actually kind of insane because their O-line was already pretty solid last year. And they've got a better defensive front, right? So they're going to have a better defense, a better O-line. They have a nice, exciting rookie coming in. So it all really comes down to whether J.J. McCarthy can move the ball. If he can keep drives going, the Vikings are going to be huge, dude. They're going to be big time this season. They re-signed Aaron Jones, right? So they're going to have a good team, bro. Obviously, they got Jettas, they got Addison. They're going to have Nailers still there doing, good or doing well as like a third option. So, yeah, man, I think the Vikings are a big winner so far. Let's see what happens in the draft, as I mentioned. The Bengals are the next team, clear winner. They re-signed T. Higgins to an extension. They fucking signed Jamar Chase to a fat-ass contract. So they still have Joe Burrow, who's probably like the best quarterback in the NFL right now when it comes to fantasy football. I mean, this team is destined to be fantasy gold. Fantasy fucking gold, man. So they re-signed Mike Gesicki, who is honestly pretty serviceable. They re-signed Higgins, re-signed Chase. Their defense has not made any improvements yet. They're going to have to hit on like every defensive player in the draft. If they can have an Eagles type draft when it comes to defensive players, I might temper my expectations on them, to be honest, because although their offense is going to be incredible, it was their fucking historically shit defense last season that led to fantasy fucking gold for us. So let's see what happens, man. Like I said, let's stay tuned. Move them up and down your draft list when it comes to the players on the team based on how good their defense looks, based on if they can find some gems in the draft. So we're going to be doing more videos as that progresses, just to kind of, touch on that. So the next team that's a winner, it's the Patriots. They're going to be spending money, dude. So they already started spending money. They got Milton Williams to a 4-year, $104 million. He's a defensive tackle, dominant pass rusher, dude. Absolutely dominant. That should improve their defense, right? They also signed Carlton Davis, who's a cornerback. Very good, very serviceable cornerback. And so they're going to put him alongside Christian Gonzalez. That's going to be great, dude. Their defense should see a massive upgrade. And on the offensive line, not a huge move, but Morgan Moses, 3 years, $24 million. Stabilize that right tackle. Their right tackle slot was absolutely horrendous last season. So better O-line, better D-line. Another year for, what the fuck is his name, dude? What's the rookie for the Patriots? I don't give a fuck. But another year for him to be better. He already looked good. Drake Maye, that's his name. Sorry. So another year for him to improve. He already looked pretty good, to be honest. Another year for those rookie wide receivers that they had to get better. So I think they're going to have to get a little bit lucky in the draft. Again, they're going to have to find like an absolutely dominant, like maybe a running back or a wide receiver, somebody that can really be a game changer. Because at the moment, the dudes that they do have are just not game changers. So next team on the list of winners is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I was debating whether I should make them a winner or a loser. So they locked down Chris Godwin to a pretty friendly extension, but he's coming off of a major injury, right? He missed the season. So goddamn, dude, Chris Godwin, dude, I might have to pour one out for you. This is the second time in his career he's had like a season-ending, scary injury. So I don't know if he can come back and be anything close to what he was last season. The Buccaneers are again destined to be a very good team. I mean, their offense was incredible last season with like literally fucking dudes who work at Home Depot playing, outside of Mike Evans. But I think another year of McMillan getting better. Another year of Mike Evans still fucking doing what Mike Evans does. He might hit 1K and 10 touchdowns yet again. Fucking Baker Mayfield is actually Himothy. He's actually him, dude. Like, what a crazy turnaround. So let's see what happens. I mean, again, the draft kind of determines a lot. And now let's move on to some losers, man. I'm gonna kind of this one's sad. This one's sad to say, dude, to start it off. But it's Isiah Pacheco, man. I was a big Isiah Pacheco fan. I drafted him in all my dynasty leagues when he was a rookie. Love the guy, dude. He's got the absolute juice, but he just did not look good, dude. He did not look good. And to be fair to him, though, I will say the Kansas City Chiefs did not like. They've never been a traditional team where they'll just run the ball and keep running it and keep running it. They'll fucking do weird, cute shit around the end zone. So Isiah Pacheco would never get touchdowns. And then somehow Kareem Hunt was just ended up fitting the team better at the end of last season. He's a better between the tackles runner. He fucking runs slow as shit, but you don't need him to run very fast because you just need him to get like 3 or 4 yards, fall forward. So Isiah Pacheco kind of got like phased out as the season went on. They really just leaned on Kareem Hunt, including in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. So they added Elijah Mitchell, who should be kind of the speed guy on the end, but he's always getting injured. Isiah Pacheco is fucking coming off a bad injury. Kareem Hunt is like 63 to 98 years old. I don't know what this Chiefs backfield is going to look like, but Isiah Pacheco, the days of him being like the bona fide, top 3 round pick, it's over, dude. So, yeah, man, all his efficiency numbers decline, but I wouldn't look at that too much. I mean, the first 2 weeks of the season, he was actually pretty good. Not from an efficiency point of view, but I think he scored like over 13 fantasy points both weeks. But anyway, man, we're going to get to Jalen McMillan, wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I already kind of mentioned him, but he kind of broke out the end of last season. If you had him in like the fantasy playoffs, I think he scored over like 15 fantasy points every single week, dude. I wish I would have picked him up and started him. I fucking won my league anyway, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, he's essentially buried on this depth chart. He's going to be behind Godwin. He's going to be behind Evans. Now, I will say this. He's somebody that I'll still be targeting in drafts simply because I think Chris Godwin is going to need a little bit of time to ramp up. And during that time that Chris Godwin is kind of just going to be operating in the slot, still kind of getting healthy. He might not even play at the beginning of the season, right? I think McMillan's going to be very good. I think he's going to be a dude where you draft him, you start him those first 2 weeks, you get him at such a value that he gives you like a positional advantage, and then try to flip him, dude. Try to trade his bitch ass. Not his bitch ass. Try to trade. Why am I fucking roasting McMillan for no reason? He's not even a bitch. Try to trade him as early as you can. Let me compose myself. Sorry. This is why you subscribe to the channel, man. Try to trade him as soon as he pops off because you do know Chris Godwin's going to come back. What the fuck? Oh, man. All right. Trade him as soon as he pops off because you know Chris Godwin's going to come back, dude. And that leads us to the next guy. It's going to be James Cook for the Buffalo Bills. They re-signed Ty Johnson, who we saw as last season went on. He really kind of took over this pass catching role. I think there was a quote from Josh Allen. I mean, he's gassing up his teammate, I will say, but he said Ty Johnson's probably the best receiving running back I've ever played with. Like, call that a fucking help wingman in your boy, dude, trying to get your boy laid at the club. But anyway, that I think that kind of caps the upside of James Cook a little bit. So I just think James Cook, like, he got so much work to do what he did. Pair that with the fact that Ray Davis is still there, and I think they continue to see what they have in him, use him as kind of like a short yardage guy. I just don't think James Cook has the same ceiling he had last season. I still think he's going to be a good pick. He's still on a very good offense. But, all of those factors that we mentioned, plus Josh Allen takes touchdowns sometimes, he's still going to be, have the potential for those like 3 fucking touchdown games like he did against me last season. But yeah, I'm just a little bit down on him right now. Next player is going to be CJ Stroud, quarterback for the Houston Texans. So we saw was it sophomore slump or third year slump? I forgot. I think sophomore slump from CJ Stroud. Just the expectations were insane for him, right? Like, we saw him be super good as a rookie off of 0 rushing upside. He doesn't possess any type of rushing threat, but he was able to produce as a pocket QB. Now here's the problem with that, right? There's few dudes in the NFL who kind of fit the mold of like a pure pocket passer who can be consistent in fantasy. And he just didn't look very good, man. Like, he did not look like a good quarterback. Like, their offensive line is also dog shit now. Laramie Tunsil, who was actually kind of bad last season, Kenyon Green, both gone. They added one offensive lineman. I think his name is like Lake Tomlinson or something like that. So they have holes on the O line, man. Some big holes. And yeah, they don't have an O line. And Stroud already looked pretty brutal, pretty rough last season. And that was, you know, in a sophomore slump. Maybe he has a lot to prove. Maybe he turns it around in his third year. Give him another season to kind of cement himself. You know, get used to the fucking, you know, the speed of the NFL. I don't know. I'm trying to see the upside here, right? Like, he still has Nico Collins. He's going to be great, dude. I think Nico Collins is going to be a bona fide alpha wide receiver this season, but I'm just worried about Stroud, right? Like, I think Nico will still be serviceable. I just don't know if Stroud's going to be good in fantasy. Like, he's already being drafted in, like, you know, the outside of the top 100, I think. So the market has already kind of priced CJ Stroud. I just don't think the offseason moves have done him any favors. So, yeah, man, that pretty much does it. I think there's some uncertainty with the Seahawks. I guess it's worth mentioning. They trade Geno Smith. They get Sam Darnold. To me, that's kind of like a wash. Like, I wouldn't, you know, fucking get super excited about Sam Darnold if I'm a Seahawks fan. It's just the system he was in, dude, was so good, man, right? Like, the talent around him was so great with Jettis, Aaron Jones, Jordan Addison. I mean, what a crazy fucking team he had around him. That defense for the Vikings. And obviously the coach, man. The coach, dude. The Minnesota Vikings coaching is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Any quarterback will prosper in that system. So, yeah, I just don't know. I think it's a downgrade from Smith. I think the offensive line is still going to be very bad. If you're a Seahawks fan, bro, let me know what you think in the comments. But the offensive line for the Seahawks was absolutely horrendous last year. Watching Kenneth Walker try to get yards behind that O-line was just sad. Like, Charbonnet fit the system more. Like, Charbonnet was, for some reason, I really can't tell you why, was able to produce behind that bad O-line when Kenneth Walker wasn't. I don't know what that means, but yeah, they lost DK Metcalf. They lost Tyler Lockett. It's just JSN, right? JSN and Sam Darnold. So it's a little bit brutal, man. They're going to have to make some moves in the draft. I hope they get a wide receiver, maybe even like a... Maybe they fix that that defensive line because they have a great secondary. They just need a little bit more defensive line help to get more pressure on the quarterback. So those are the motherfucking winners and losers, bro. I'm excited to be back, dude, to pump out some content, start creating stuff. I'm be creating a draft guide. I'm be creating a Patreon. I'm trying to make some motherfucking money from this, man. Like, you guys got to help your boy out, dude. I make these videos for free. All it costs you is a like, a sub, maybe even some money further down the line. So hope you guys liked the video, man. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd appreciate a like and sub. You can expect these types of videos moving forward throughout the off season. We're gonna be pumping them out. You know, once it hits like July, dude, a video every day. We're gonna be pumping videos. We're gonna be doing live streams. We're gonna be doing, you know, draft recaps, all types of stuff, man. So if you did enjoy, man, I'd appreciate a like and a sub, and I'll catch you guys later.